All right, everybody, welcome back. So today is Sunday. The video of track day just got posted. I'm in the garage. It's like 8:30, a little bit of a late day, but I have something I want to get done. Yeah, that is a 7296. That is a Garrett turbo with a T6 1.34 AR hot side, the 96 wheel. Smaller compressor, smaller turbine wheel. I'm gonna see if it's gonna help. Because if it doesn't help, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the back housing off that. We're gonna order a smaller back housing, probably around the 1.1, 1.15 area, give or take. And then that should pretty much nick any problems that we have. So what I'm gonna do tonight is I wanna get it on. I might have to take the housing off because, hold on, let me unplug my phone, it's charging. So right here, we have this V-band that was welded on, or came with it, and then they welded to it. And I think I'm gonna have to bring that to work tomorrow, and we're gonna cross the bandsaw, lop it off, so that we can put it on here. Not a big deal, but I do want to get that done. But I'm gonna put everything in, make sure everything lines up. First thing I'm gonna do is take the exhaust off this and make sure it fits on that one before I do anything else, because the oil lines on this are a huge pain in the butt. The drain line basically has to be assembled off of the turbo and then bolted to the turbo, but because of the way the line runs, it's a pain to get to the bolts, so it's just not a lot of fun. I don't think I'm gonna get a lot of video tonight, because basically I'm gonna turn the radio up, I'm gonna rock out, and that's gonna be it. So, and my phone won't record while I play music. So, yeah. All right, guys, I'll see you in a little bit when hopefully that little thing is on the car. All right, everybody, so let's check the laptop real quick. It's charging. Trans should be cooled by now. Really, the trans was pretty cool. It was the converter I was concerned about. You know, sitting here playing with the two-step, it's gonna get a little warm. I got 96% on the laptop, so that'll be fun. We can disconnect this. So everything seems okay for right now. I emphasize that. Sorry, you're looking at just my beard. I emphasize that because it's one of those things that stuff happens. But anyways, so as of right now, everything's good. I did make an adjustment to the coilovers because the last owner had adjusted the coilover collar so low that the adjuster on the shock was blocked. You couldn't turn it. So I fixed that, and then I loosened up the other side. The other side was a little stuck in place, so I fixed that as frozen. And then I adjusted them all the way, or I counted down, so it's got 14 clicks of adjustment. I put it at 7, and the car basically wouldn't move. I didn't really like that. I want to have a little bit of playback there. So I dropped it down to 0. It was moving pretty good. Picked it up to about 3. 3, it's got very minimal movement. So I'm hoping that when we switch to those, that'll be good. But in the meantime, when I go do what I'm about to do, it's not gonna break my back. This is tape that I used to try and figure out instant center stuff, because I am a leaf spring car. So my boy Andrew was trying to help me with that, and I screwed it all up. Just tape. I'm just gonna throw this away. So yeah, I screwed it up, or just the car's really short is really what it boils down to. It's not necessarily that I screwed it up. So like from the rear tire, the bottom of the rear tire to the top of the front tire, and then my cam center line is about 20 inches. So you're supposed to measure along that line and figure out where 20 inches is. Well, on this car, 20 inches is right there. Just about exactly where that badge is. which is really far forward. He was expecting to be like by my seat, but the car only has a 96-inch wheelbase. It's really short. So, yeah, I'm gonna throw the hood on this, take it for a quick ride around the block with the boost controller set the way it was. I want to see what 45% duty will make on this new turbo. You know, try and get a feel for what it's gonna do. It will make 5.5 on the brake. I made 5.6 on the brake in under 8 seconds, which isn't bad. And that's total time from when I'm at it. Yeah, so from when I'm at it to when I let off is about 8 seconds, which isn't terrible. Most burn down clocks is about 7 anyways. So that means if I grab it before I bump in, or if I grab it and I count 1, 2, 3, and I bump in, I should be okay. It made the 5.5 pretty early. I probably didn't have to hold it that long. It's not like it took the full 8 seconds, but I held it to 8 seconds, and that's, you know, it made it. I'll have a clip of that to add in this area. So now that you've seen that clip, I'm gonna take this for a quick rip. I'm gonna data log it, and then we'll go over the data log after that. Downside, it's going to be 2 weeks before another track video because OSW has a bike event this weekend, and even Bradenton has an event this weekend, neither of which I qualify for. So it's one of those things that it just is what it is, which is gonna work out because we're gonna take the charge pipe off at some point once the parts come in. I'm gonna order a 3-inch Alpha Lock from Justin Linder. They're badass. If I'm gonna spend the money on a damn engine clamp or anything like that, I might as well just go with the Alpha Lock. It's not much more money, and it's way better for the car than that janky thing I got on there right now. So that's kind of the plan. That'll get done. Coilovers are adjusted. Tires need to be swapped, which will get done this week. And just nut and bolt the car. So unfortunately, there's really not going to be too much to discuss going forward. I'm not going to play with it too much. I don't want to break anything trying to mess with it. But I might mess with the water meth a little bit. What I'm thinking is I'll get like a small, tiny little like half gallon or half pound per minute pump, just something real small to put in line, so when it comes out of the tank it pushes it to the other pump, and then the big pump can do all the work from there. They'll be wired at the same time, so once one turns on, the other will turn on. Or I'll wire another switch and I'll prime the pump to the intake. I might do that. I might wire it to a switch so I can prime it all the way up to the intake, and then once it's primed I'll be able to plumb it and it should function. That might be something we do during the week to try and help with intake air temps, because right now we still don't have water meth. We're just on E85. Well, not water meth, M1, M5, the bottle tank's right there. But yeah, so I'm gonna go visit Mexico real quick and I'll be back. All right, everyone, we're back. As you can see, we're in the garage, hood's off. In life, we make questionable choices. I generally make more than most people, because I'm an idiot. But it is what it is. Most of the time I understand my questionable choices are questionable. I make them against, generally a lot of advice not to do what I'm doing. And sometimes it works. Most of the time it does. So I made the charge pipe work on the car. Knew it's questionable. Now, I had to change one of my clamps because my T-bolt clamp wouldn't hold properly. So I went to 2 crappy clamps. And of course, one of them came off as I was trying to get some data. What I will say is, this is a hell of a lot happier with that turbo than the big one in the corner. The response is better. Even on low boost, it feels better, feels faster. It sounds silly, but it's ramping the boost in sooner. It's a much more impressive feel than before. And I haven't even had it on 5 pounds, 6 pounds yet. The test hits that I made. One of them, I made a dummy move and I forgot to click the boost controller. And the other one, this was happening. So, and I knew it was an issue before I even let go of the button because I was watching the boost not build. I have the data log for that. But when a kid says do a burnout, you do a burnout, right? So we'll insert that here. All right, everybody, welcome back. It's now Tuesday. Excuse the weird angle. I just have the phone resting on the laptop while I pull stuff up. So, data logs. Pull up this one. So, let's take a look. With the new turbo, we talked about from the earlier clip, turbo is doing what it's supposed to be doing, which is great. So, I'm gonna turn you around. All right, so I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna go to boost. So what I did for this is I turned the boost controller up initially, or the two-step up initially to 4,000. Tried getting it there. It didn't want to. I don't blame it. Small motor, big turbo. It is what it is. This turbo is smaller than the other one, but it's still pretty big. So, as you can see, it came up, flashed really good, and it took a second to get over here. I did just adjust this. So that's 3,300, 3,360. And we're already at 4, and it's not even popping and banging yet. It's not bouncing around. So that's already a drastic improvement over what we had before. Now if we go like this, we scroll past, 5, 5, 2, 3, 5, 4, 5, 5, 5, 6, 5, 6, 5, 6, 5, 7, 5, 6. So it kind of just settles off over there. So now, if we look from where it started popping and banging to where I let off, it's only about 3 seconds. But the cumulative time is from about 7 to about 15. So it's about 7.5 seconds that I was on the brake. I did this twice. I do have another data log. Right now I'm letting it cool off. All right, let's go like this. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the LennyWorks YouTube channel. It is Thursday. It's a little later in the day. Took a trip after work. I worked out an arrangement, and we picked up some new dancing shoes for the girl. So obviously, we already talked about the fact that Hoosiers are going on. Well, what I didn't want to do is limit it so if I wanted to drive this to work or anything like that, I had to drive on the Hoosiers. So I went looking for another pair of shoes, which is that right there. This is exactly the same pair of shoes that she currently has. It's a little bit bigger. So what we have here is a 4.5-inch back spacing, which is the same as the current wheel. Weld, whatever they call that wheel, Weld Star, whatever it is, I don't know. But that one is a 12. The other one's a 10. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave the radial on the 10s because they got the pretty stickers and paint and all that stuff, and they match the fronts. And we're going to put the Hoosiers on the 12s. As you can see, this wheel is already drilled for screws. So what I'm going to do tomorrow after work is I'm going to bring these and those over to American Motorsports and get them mounted up and pick up the wheel screws since I'm going to need them anyways. The 12 wide does fit. let's take a second look. So, this is where we're at for today. I'm gonna do a little bit more messing around. I got some pizza on the way so I can eat because I skipped dinner to go get this done. Gentleman lived in Lady Lake. It's like an hour away. With traffic, conversation, everything like that, it was like 2 hours. No, it was like 3 hours total round trip, driving up there, doing everything, coming back. So I'm just waiting on some food. But yeah, so that's all we're gonna do Thursday. So Friday, I have to work, potentially I have to work Saturday, so tomorrow I'll get that stuff done. Right after work, should be back here by 5:36. And if that's the case, then I'll be good to go to get these mounted, be able to roll around a little bit, double check clearancing and whatnot. The clearance should be the same because 28-10-5 and the radio should be exactly the same height. Stacked on top of each other, they look the same or pretty dang close. So let's check. You can see, yeah. Slick, radial. So yeah, they're pretty close. They're supposed to be exactly the same size, all blown up and whatever. And then the Alpha Lock is on its way. I got the email confirmation today, so you should have that next week, which will be good. And what else? Once the Alpha Lock gets here, that pretty much covers all the changes I wanted to make to the car before the next track outing. So as long as I can get over to Redline and either have Dennis or I'm drawing a blank on his name, I'm sorry. I suck. But if I can have one of those guys welded up, then the car will be ready to go back together. What I did do up here is set this up. I made a gap and I lined them up. So what I'm going to do is once the Alpha Lock gets here, I'm going to put the Alpha Lock in there and properly space everything. If I have to work on the end of that aluminum, the charge piping side, to get it flush, I'm going to do my best to have the best fitment I can there so they can get the best welding on there that they can. And then on the housing, and we'll just have an Alpha Lock. So we'll keep this coupler up here. We'll have an Alpha Lock between the turbo, charge pipe. Yeah, so turbo, charge pipe. We'll have an Alpha Lock. And then, yeah, that's it. It's going to be pretty straightforward. That should give us everything we need in order to bring it back out and be done and go make hits next week. The 17th of April, Saturday, the plan is to be in Georgia for a no prep event. So I want to get some stuff done. I'm required stock door panels, stock dash, and I was told I was allowed coilovers. Import coilovers are acceptable. So the car is legal for the street class. So that's where we're gonna go. Ignore the skinny back there. That's for a set that I have for sale. Anybody who wants them, let me know. Yeah, so she is street class legal for the no prep in Georgia. Hopefully, we can get some good data at the track. Can run some decent ETs there. Leave a little bit of room on the table, and then I'll probably take a couple trips to Mexico before Georgia, and we will get the data that we need there so that I'm not going completely blind to Georgia. And that's it. Valve cover gaskets. I need to replace the valve cover gaskets. They leak. It just kind of is what it is. They're old. They're crusty. I've had the valve covers on and off a million freaking times at this point, so they're gonna leak. It's part of the fun. But other than that, the Jimmy rigged catch cans have been working. They absorb some moisture from the blow-by, and that's about it. Doesn't look like they're pushing any oil or anything like that, which is awesome. So I think we're doing pretty good. Might do an oil change as well next week, just to be safe. This oil's been in there a little bit. It's kind of had the crap kicked out of it, so we might switch it out. It looks pretty good. I had the valve cover off the other day just to make sure nothing was mixing. The oil still looks good. It doesn't look new by any means, but it doesn't look beat to crap. It's not all black or anything like that. It's still pretty clear, but just better safe than sorry. So catch up with you tomorrow. So the 12 wide works. Trying to ignore my less than ideal lighting situation. I make it work. But hold on. And I know you guys watching me do stupid stuff isn't fun, but it happens. So, from the quarter panel, it's still within the quarter panel. Even at a 12 wide, you can see there, the quarter is up there, rim lip is there. Come onto here, and if we look, she still has quite a bit of room from the frame rail. Back spacing is just right, so. And right now it's held on with 3 bolts, but you can see, looks pretty good there. I think it's gonna look pretty good with that little tiny tire on it. Now, I say little tiny tire, it is still a 10.5-inch tire. Small tire legal and everywhere I go. This is the tire that's going to stay on the car. I'll probably be putting a radial on the car for the street stuff, driving around, whatever. It'll probably be actually a treaded radial, like an ET Street R, whatever they call them. Not this ET Street. This is the Pro Bracket Radial, I think. Radial Pro. Okay. There's 2 different ones. I confuse them all the time. But this is the tire we're going to race on. Pretty much all the time. We're going to stay on the CO7. See there? I know it's upside down. 28, 10, 5. This is a stiff wall slick. So it's going to get mounted on those rims. Those rims will stay the same. Now we'll have dancing shoes and her pretty shoes, her dress shoes. So if we go to a show or anything like that, if we're gonna just go to a car meet, Cars and Coffee and whatnot, should be on those. And then if we're going to put in work, should be on those. So the only giveaway is gonna be the all black versus the silver weld. Other than that, it's gonna be the same. Yeah, so it is what it is. I think I'm actually gonna upload this video because I have quite a few clips. And yeah, as always, comment, like, share, subscribe, get up and get after it.